Hey pretty gang, it's Nicolette or nikTOOpretty if you follow me on social media, and I'm back today with another video on how I achieved this really deep purple smoky eye. Keep on watching if you want to see how. So I'm excited because today I'm going to be using the ITSMYRAYERAYE palette, and I really love Ray. She's one of the first YouTubers that I started watching when I first really got into makeup. So this is what the palette looks like. It has some really pretty colors in there. Lots of highlighters, contour shades, and it just has really pretty colors. So to start out with, I'm using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and this color is Original. So I just smear a little on my eyelid, and I just use my fingers to go ahead and blend it out until it's a little sticky and dry. Now I'm using my Morphe E23, and this is just a really big fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to use the color Mousse as my transition shade, and I'm just putting that all into my crease area and blending that out. Now I'm going to use the color Midnight, and this is a little bit of a darker brown, and I'm just going to place that right on top of where I put the mousse and just blend that in. Now I'm going to use this purple color, and this one is Connie, and I'm just going to put that right into the outer corner and a little into the crease just to kind of blend things together. Make it a little smoky out on the outer edge. And this is my Morphe M167 brush, and this is just like a flat eyeshadow brush, like a packing brush. I really like it. It works really good, and I'm going to use it with the Passion, and I'm putting that all over the lid in the first inner corner and then toward the middle, not applying it on the outer edge because that's where I have the deep purple there. And I'm just pressing this onto the lid, not rubbing or we're not blending. We're just kind of depositing color or pigment right on the lid with this brush. And it's working really good, not any fallout or anything. Now I'm going back in with my Morphe E23 brush just to kind of blend things out, make sure everything is seamless and there's no harsh lines. And I did put a little bit of the Connie on that just to blend things together. Now I'm using my AOA Studio E124 pencil brush, and I'm mixing the colors Connie and Passion and just putting that into my bottom lash line and just smudging it all underneath. And I actually did my winged liner off camera, but I used the NYX gel liner in black, and I used the Luxie 215 angled brush to apply it. For foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in Soft Sable and Classic Tan. I mix those two together because the Soft Sable is too warm for my skin, and then the tan is too yellow. So I mix them both together to get my perfect shade. And I just mix them both together on the back of my hand and just use my finger just to dot it all over my face before I start blending it out. And this is my Ecotools Sponge. This is the Total Perfecting Blender, and I just recently got this, but it works really, really good Pretty comparable to the Real Techniques Miracle Sponge, but I like how it's really round on one side, more like the Beauty Blender, but for a fourth of the price, of course. And it's really cool because it's flat on one side, kind of like the Fenty Beauty Sponge, and it's actually flat on another side also, but shorter. So it works really good for contouring and just kind of packing powder on the face. For concealer, I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape, and the color is Tan Sand. This concealer works really good, and I really like it because it stays matte, and I have hella oily skin, so it kind of stays matte. And also, you don't even really have to put powder over top of it because it sets itself. Love it. One thing I will say about this concealer though is it does dry pretty quickly, so you kind of have to work fast. But I do put a lot underneath my eyes, so I kind of let that get a little bit tacky before I go immediately in and start blending that out. Now, since I did my eyeshadow first, I decided to use the Real Techniques Mini Miracle Sponge to go in and get real close to the inner corner because I do bring my concealer close to the nose, and I didn't want to disturb my eyeshadow and make any mistakes. So I decided to use that just to be real precise with it. And to contour, I'm using my Iman Second to None foundation stick, and the color is Earth 5. And I really like this. I just put a little on my forehead, on my cheeks, and a little bit goes a long way. You don't have to put much. And to blend that out, I use my Morphe E7, and this is an angled foundation brush. I like it because it gets right underneath my cheekbone, so it just puts my contour right where I want it and blends it perfectly. Now to set my foundation and contour and concealer, I'm going to use the Dermablend loose setting powder, and the color that I'm using is Cool Beige. And I'm using my Ecotools Sponge on the smaller flat side just to press that in to the areas where I need it. Now I'm using my Ecotools powder brush just to brush away the excess powder that's left on my face. Now with my MAC Studio powder brush, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Press Powder in the color 360 Mocha, and I'm just using that to set anywhere where I put the Iman stick foundation for my contour. This is my AOA Studio 111 angled brush, and I'm using that to dip into my concealer, the Iman stick foundation that I use as concealer, just to use that to contour my nose. And to blend out that contour, I'm going to use my Real Techniques Mini Miracle Sponge just to blend it all out. And for my highlight, I used the French Toast and Radiant, and it actually didn't record when I put it on my cheeks. I put it on my cheeks, my nose, and my forehead. And now I'm using the AOA F16 brush, and I'm just popping that into the inner corner and on my Cupid's bow and a little bit under my brow bone. And for my lashes, I'm using the Miss 3D Volume Lash, and the style is M101. And to stick them on, I use the Duo Lash Glue in Dark. And it normally doesn't even take me this long to put on my lashes, but for whatever reason, this one wanted to give me a hard time, but hey, it happens. The first one went on like a charm easily, but this one, I had a little bit of a struggle, but I got it. This is my Scandinavia finishing spray. I'm just using that to spray all over my face just to set everything in and make sure that my makeup doesn't move. And then once that's dried, I used my Mary Kay Lash Intensity Mascara in Black Noir just to coat my bottom lashes. And I actually did my lips off camera as well. I used the NYX Soft Matte liquid lipstick, and that's the Copenhagen shade. And I had a Forever 21 Velvet Lip Crayon in Plum that I used on top of that just to make it a little darker. And this is the finished look. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.